236 years ago, the mission began on a generation ship. They arrived with shattered dreams, burdened by a silent gate and the stillness of a failed cradle. "You have something that does not belong to you," Jim said, his voice edged with a cold firmness. "It's time to come with us." He unbuttoned his suit jacket and opened it up just enough to show a holstered firearm. Kaylie could feel bile from her stomach trying to rise into her throat. It made her want to vomit. She said, "I have nothing belonging to Niruku." "Lying will not help you," he said. "We're not going back," Kaylie said, hoping she sounded more convincing than she felt. "I would rather not shoot a pretty young thing like you, but I will if I have to. Either way, Niruku is taking back what is theirs. Your choice, Kaylie." He knew her name. He knew what she had done. The game was up and she knew it. They had caught her, and her career was over for nothing. There would be prison time. How long, she didn't know. But that wasn't the worst. They would take Estia back to the lab and experiment with her. No one would ever know that it had even happened. Niruku would get away with it. They always got away with it. But they were going to have to come through her first. She stepped in front of Estia. "Run!" she hissed to her friend. But Estia didn't run. Instead, she touched Kaylie's shoulder. "It will be okay," she said, nodding her head. The second man pulled on a set of thin gloves. He produced a taser and zip ties from his coat, thick ones, like the ones used by police officers to restrain people. "Go," Kaylie whispered. "Just run." But Estia stepped in front of Kaylie, putting herself between the men and her more petite friend. "Good afternoon," she said, her hands spread in a message intending to show goodwill. "Get on the ground," the man with the taser said, pointing his weapon at her. It started as a growl, becoming a shout. "Hands behind your back! On the ground, now!" "No, I don't think I will," Estia said. She took 2 steps before the taser probes struck her. But instead of convulsing and falling prone, Estia scarcely flinched. The man stared at the weapon in disbelief and then pulled the trigger again, but it did not have the desired effect on Estia, who pulled the probes from her clothing. Jim reached to unbutton the strap on his shoulder holster. With one more quick step, Estia reached them. Like water flowing downhill, she spun on the ball of her left foot, her right leg sweeping in a wide arc to plant a roundhouse to Jim's neck. Continuing the spin, she delivered a wheel kick with her left leg, striking the second man's jaw. It was as if she had flicked off a pair of light switches. Both men slumped. Ray Decker asked the questions no one else would. Joined by Kaylie and Estia, Ray embarks on a mission to expose the truth. They will face impossible odds, uncover ancient secrets, and confront a threat that could change the fate of humanity. Transmigrant, a novel by Stephen B. Anthony.